So I'm Mary Guzman, CEO and founder of Crown Jewel Insurance, and today we're going to do another short video on what is a trade secret, part 2. We've had a few people comment that first one was helpful, but they still have a few questions, so I thought I would try to answer those today in layman's terms, give a few examples. One thing that people ask is, if you're using open source software code in a bigger project or a bigger application or whatever it is that you're developing, can you still use that as a trade secret, or can that still be a trade secret? And the answer is yes. We just need to be able to isolate the open source code that wasn't independently developed by you, so that we can put a value around that, and then that would be what the insured value would become. So that answer is yes. Another question that we get along those same lines is, can you have something that's a trade secret that would be valued and considered a trade secret that also has other intellectual property protected assets in it? So if you have a patented technology, for example, that's part of a larger trade secret, so you have a piece of technology that does a specific function, but it's a part of a much bigger way of methodology of doing business that helps your business move faster and better and smarter than your competition, that's okay. But again, we just need to be able to isolate out the patented technology, because we don't want to double count that as part of the trade secret valuation, and that is what Alvarez and Marsal does every day and will help us do. Another question that we get is whether or not customer lists can be considered trade secrets, and I would say that the answer is yes. In fact, there's a lot of litigation about that. One employee going to work, or a former employee going to work for another company and taking the customer list with them. There's a lot of litigation, but the success rate on that litigation is not very high. And I think the reason for that is that I would say generally a customer list in and of itself may not be a trade secret, because it has to derive independent value for your organization by itself, and not be known in the industry, and you have to put specific protections and only allow access to certain people. And most organizations don't have a customer list that is that compelling, to be candid. I could be totally wrong about your specific organization or your client, but whether or not something is a trade secret needs to be determined based on its defensibility and the 6-factor litmus test and the IONA principles. So that's how you would determine, and we would collectively determine if that's something you could schedule. And then the fourth thing is financial algorithms. Sorry about that. Financial algorithms, often used by investment firms or other financial institutions, absolutely can be used or considered a trade secret. You might have those within an insurance company. A lot of different organizations might have the way that they arrive at what they're going to invest in is a secret to them, and of course that could be considered a trade secret. So hopefully that answers your questions. Short and sweet. Please follow us on social media on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. Thanks for listening.